Hello, everybody. It's Dr. JJ with Pinnacle Chiropractic, serving families just like you in Bradenton and Sarasota area. So today we're going to talk about something that we are seeing more now than ever, which is kids' chronic sickness, unfortunately, whether it be congestion, drainage, coughs, and it seems like they're lasting longer now than ever, and they're harder and harder to kick. And really, those coughs seem to be the one that can be the worst. They often come on after the congestion has cleared out, and then they continue to disrupt sleep. They make it hard for our kids to go back to school, and it seems to linger forever. If your child is struggling with a chronic cough that won't go away or comes back after every little cold or every congestion that comes up, then this video is for you. Now, oftentimes, we as parents, we look for a more natural way to kick the cough, whether it's humidifiers, nebulizers, extra pillows underneath the neck in order to support proper drainage while sleeping, you name it. But far too often we are recommended a suppressant or an antibiotic, and if that chronic cough settles in for some time. So let's talk about what we can do instead of the medications and treatments to make sure that we can kick this cycle from even happening in the first place. So let's start off with a story of one of our own patients here at Pinnacle who experienced this before getting care here, and that is the story of Bryce. And Bryce's mom wrote us that in her one of her progress reviews, Bryce's immune system felt very weak early on. She seemed to pick up every cold virus out there and then experience chronic ear infections, and with every cold, she would experience a cough that lingered for 2 to 3 weeks. It felt like we were only getting healthy for 1 week per month. So, like many children, Bryce struggled with many of the things that led to her consistently having a chronic cough. So, in addition to the chronic ear infections, she also had really struggled with sleep at night. Her mom says she can count on one hand how many times that Bryce slept through the night those first few years, and she knew how much that weakened her immune system and her body, and that was one of the reasons that she was getting sick all the time. Now, as a pediatric chiropractor and as a pediatric chiropractic office, we see lots of kids struggling with coughs. Looking at coughs specifically through a different lens is what allows our office to tackle this problem by getting the orientation, the progression of it, and nipping it in the bud before it really becomes a chronic issue. And really, chiropractic looks to help kids with chronic cough by focusing on 3 main elements of subluxation and avoiding medication, if possible, of course. Now, subluxation, especially in the neck, the cervical region, and the upper back, upper thoracic regions, leads to tension and fixation, which prevents the ears, the throat, the lymphatics, and the lungs from draining properly. The plumbing essentially is getting backed up with mucus and congestions in those areas, and it cannot drain because physically there's too much tension. Number 2, subluxation also alters the neuroimmune function, leaving it more in a sympathetic dominant state, also known as dysautonomia. You've probably heard me say that before. And this creates a feedback loop where the body wants to create more mucus production and then furthermore more inflammation. So it's almost creating more of the same problem because it thinks that it needs more mucus when in reality it's the fixation of the body causing the issue. And typically what we do is we throw medications at those end products, the mucus, things like that, and that's actually not fixing the root cause. And then number 3, subluxations are most commonly caused by an abnormal in utero positioning, whether it be breech, it could be a birth intervention plus trauma, such as C-section, forceps, induction, or vacuum extraction, and even things that seem small like childhood falls. Or you think about things like containers, too much time in the car seats, too much time in baby carriers. So no matter what you want to naturally add into it, throw into it, the physical stress on the system isn't working as it should. So if you still are in this tension, this state of tension, sympathetic tone as well, you're not going to be able to drain properly no matter what you throw at it. Whether it's from the childhood fall, from a birth intervention, you name it, you can throw any lotions, potions, whatever you want at it. But if we don't fix the physical structure, it's going to have a hard time draining naturally and really fixing that root cause. So what chiropractic care really seeks to do is to help avoid children taking medications and thus prevent long-term immune system suppression and weakening that can increase their risk of asthma, allergies, and autoimmune conditions later on in life by taking those suppressants. So essentially what you do is when you take something that gets rid of the mucus consistently over and over, the body thinks we don't need to produce mucus in the first place. Or it continues to make an overproduction when it does happen and you don't have the medication. So this is why so many parents are turning to drug-free options like pediatric chiropractic care, which really addresses the root cause of a chronic cough, which is exactly what Bryce's mom finally did after trying so many other seemingly failed interventions. And really the first thing that needs to be done in order to find out if chiropractic care can help your kiddo is first we'll do a consultation, and then based off that consultation we'll do a neurological examination. And this is where a pediatric chiropractor can really detect the presence of subluxation and also neuromuscular tension leading to those symptoms. So often it is found that things like birth trauma, reflux, and even constipation have not been fully taken care of yet. And then as the child grows, the subluxation, the chronic tension continues to compile and then contribute to other conditions like a chronic cough. And the neurological examination, also called the insight scan that we do here, plus our training and our vast experience of the kiddos that we see here, allow us to look more closely at the specific areas that need to be addressed tension-wise with you or your kiddo. Is it really the upper cervical neck region, the upper thoracic region, since those are most closely related to the function of the vagus nerve, the phrenic nerve, and also the neuromuscular dynamics of the respiratory system? All of these systems essentially can affect your child's ability to kick a cough for good. So if you are concerned that this may be the case with your kiddo, schedule a consultation today and an exam, and we'll get you in as soon as we can to help you with these things. Plus, if you're looking for more resources in general, what we're going to do is we have an entire Raising Healthy Kids Naturally playbook for you to download, which is going to be in the comments. And that's going to take you through all the natural resources, not only for chronic coughs, but other immune struggles that weigh our kids down. So go ahead and check that link out in the comments. You can leave any comments that this video has inspired you. Put any questions in the comments. You can also DM us. But if this does sound like you or any other kiddo that you know, please share this video, because so many parents think that there's no other options. So we'd love to help you in any way that we can. And until then, peace and love.